So we're going to talk about the footer and how to add links underneath, as well as addresses or whatever you want to add on the footer. How do you update the footer? The first thing you have to know is that the footer is broken down into columns. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's columns there. You cannot update these social media links here on the top or on the bottom from this tutorial. We covered that on a different tutorial talking about specifically just social media. But if you want to update just the content right on the footer, I can show you exactly how to do that. You want to log in to your website. You want to be on your dashboard. Once you at your dashboard, you want to go to appearance. You want to go to widgets. See, on the footer, it's built up out of widgets. So when you go to appearance widgets, you will see here footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, footer 4. This is so pretty much column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Now, I'm going to click on column 1. It's going to drop down and show me the widget that it's on column 1. I'm going to click on that widget, and I can see here there's a phone number. Now, every time you're building a site or working with a website, you'll always be able to see the text or the visual. So the text, it's the code. It's what's creating that whole line. The visual is what people see. So, sometimes you may get confused. Just click on visual. The reason why there's a bunch of codes here, it's because this footer here, it's actually a link. If people click on it, they will actually call you, and that's what we want. If they click on this, is Instagram. So these codes are it's pretty ideally just creating a link. Now let's go ahead and add the address right underneath. We're gonna go here. We're going to get the address. You probably don't have to copy and paste. In this case, I do because I don't know it. I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm gonna save. Boom. Did that do it? Let's see. Maybe did it, maybe didn't. Scroll down. Boom, it did add the address there. However, notice the text here, and here is small. And then over here, this address is really big text compared to this. So you can see that the text is the same as the paragraph text, right? It's just big. So the reason why, if I highlight this, it says over here, it says paragraph. If I highlight this, it says header 6. So this one, it says paragraph and it's 12. This says header 6 and stuff. It's also different fonts. So the footer, I want all the fonts to match. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to go from paragraph to header 6, which is the smallest format that I've created. So I have a paragraph format. So every time you write, it's going to have the same text, the same font, the same size. Every time you put a header 1, it's going to be the same header size, the same font. So I have this font here, which is on header 6. I'm going to keep it on header 6. That way everything looks the same. Let's go ahead and look at it. Now you notice the color has changed. So what you want to do, you want to highlight it. Because the background is blue, you want the text to be white. You're going to highlight it. Boom, boom, the whole thing. And I'm going to go to the drop down here for text color with the little line underneath. And I'm going to choose white. Now at this point, I don't see it here anymore, but it's there. The only reason I see the call is because it's highlighted in blue, because it's a link, but it's also white. So now I pretty much just highlighted it all, and I dropped on the drop down and I made it white. Okay. Now on visual, I can't see it. On text, I can't see it. The FFF tells it that it's white. Super simple. You just type whatever you want to type, then you highlight it. You made it paragraph 6 because you want it to be the same font. And you go to the drop down here where it has a little A with the line, and you drop down and you choose the color you want that to be. So I chose white. It's that simple. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to delete this. I don't want this there. I'm also going to delete the address. I don't actually want to permanently keep the address there. But let's go ahead and talk about how to add a little link underneath social here. Super simple. Go to footer area 2. Notice it says the name social on top. That's the title of the column. Then there's Facebook and there's Instagram. Let's go ahead and type in here. The best thing to do is not to actually work from here. Let's go ahead and put Snapchat. Okay. Right, Snapchat, and I'm gonna highlight it. I'm gonna put for header 6. But notice there's this massive gap between them. So that's the problem. It automatically adds a paragraph for you. And it's weird. So what I want to do when adding a new line, usually I want to go to text, because over here it doesn't add anything for you. It's like the raw data. I'm gonna write Snapchat right underneath it. See, now it's right underneath it, and there's no spaces. So actually, let me see something. Okay, this is what's going on. This is actually very interesting. So when I put header 6, I'm gonna go ahead and write Snapchat, put header 6 because I want it to be the same thing. Now I'm gonna click on the little link here, and I'm gonna write the link I want it to be, Snapchat, blah, blah, whatever your link is. Now I don't want to just put the link, because if people click, it's gonna take them from your site. For example, if they click on Instagram and there's a link there, it takes them from your site. Notice it took me from that site. I don't want that. I want them to be able to open a new tab and take them to the site from a new tab. So I'm gonna click this little link option, and I'm gonna hit open, and I'm gonna click open in a new tab. Obviously, I gotta write the link here on the URL, and I gotta say open on a new tab. Whatever your link is to your profile, you write it here, put the link text, and open on a new tab. You check that. So now when they click on that link, instead of actually taking them from your site, it's just gonna open a new page next to it. That way they don't never leave your website. It's so super cool. It's like if I want to see the work tab, I click on it, see how it open on a new tab, and it takes them there. I did that manually, but in this case you would do it automatically. Okay, now we save it. The problem is it created that space. So no, this one doesn't. I'm sorry, this one I accidentally pull Instagram and Facebook together. Simple. So what I want to do, just make sure I put a space here between them, save it. Let's go look to see how that looks. That's the problem, you know, you have to play around a little bit. See, everything looks good now. Sometimes when you go back and forth from visual and text, it may update your formatting a little bit, but at the end of the day, everything looks good now. You just, you know, if I wanted to add something else, I can just go right underneath, and I can put Google Plus, and I can check it, put the link, blah, 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 compo, make header 6, and we are done. And then you would see that on here, okay? Boom, Google Plus. So that's on. That's there. Super easy, nothing too crazy. If I wanted to change this photo right here, super easy. It's footer 4. There's an image there. Replace image. Just click this button, find another image or upload it, and that image there would change. So that's how you manage the footer section of your website.